Hello dear student, welcome to our program of mathematics for third prep. We have today an important lesson, the type of polynomial functions. What do you mean polynomial function? We have many types of polynomial function, such that linear function, constant function, quadratic function. Now we study the sum polynomial functions. Some polynomial functions are linear function. What do you mean linear function? The function f to r, where r from r to r, where function of x equals ax plus b. Then the form of function like as ax plus b is the linear function, where a belongs to r minus 0, b belongs to r is called a linear function. Add a form function of x equals ax plus b is called a linear function. It is a polynomial function of the first degree. Why first degree? Excellent, because the highest power of x equals 1, ax to the power 1 plus b. Then the polynomial function of the first degree. Examples of linear function: function 2 where 2r, where r function of x equals x minus 1. From r to r, function of x equals 2x plus 1. r function of x equals 3x. The graphical representation of the linear function. The linear function r to r, where function of x equals ax plus b. Graphically by a straight line intersecting the y-axis at the point 0b, the x-axis at the point negative b over a 0. The form of a linear function. Linear function as a form equals ax plus b. A is the coefficient of x. B is absolute term. Ax plus b represent by graph a straight line. By a straight line. يعني ايه؟ يعني احنا بنعمل الجراف بتاع اللينير فانكشن on the graph by straight line. يعني لازم يطلع معاك straight line. طيب إذا ما طلعش معانا straight line يبقى في حاجة عندنا غلط ولازم repeat the solve again. لازم نعيد حل البروبلم تاني. Okay. The straight line cuts x-axis and y-axis. Cuts at the point. Remember that any points located on y-axis, the x equals 0. Excellent. Any points located on x-axis, the y equals 0. Excellent. Then cuts the y-axis at 0, b. b is the absolute term in the function. A straight line cuts the x-axis at negative b over a 0. At the point negative b over a. A, it is a coefficient of x. To represent a linear function, It is enough to find two ordered pair belonging to the function. You can find a third ordered pair to check that 3 points are on the same straight line. Example, graph the following linear function. f of x equals 2x minus 3 . To graph this function, we need to determine 3 ordered pairs belonging to the function. Since f of x equals 2x minus 3, then function negative 1 equals 2 times negative 1 minus 3. Substituting, replace of any x negative 1. بعمل substituting للx، بشيل كل x واحط مكانها ايه؟ excellent. Replace negative 1. Then 2 times negative 1 minus 3 equals negative 5. Then negative 1, negative 5 belongs to f. f function of 1 equals 2 times 1 minus 3 equals negative 1. Then ordered pair 1, negative 1 belongs to function, and function 2 equals 2 times 2 minus 3 equals 1. Then ordered pair 2, 1 belongs to function. We can arrange these ordered pairs in the following table. X, y equals function of x, negative 1, 1, 2. The result, y function of x equals negative 5, negative 1, 1. We locate these 3 points which represent the 3 ordered pairs in the Cartesian plane, and draw the straight line L that passes through any 2 points of them. Then we check that the third point lies on the same straight line. Then this straight line is the graphical representation of this function. X, x dash, y, y dash. This is 2 coordinates x and y. Negative 1, negative 5, 1, negative 1, 2, 1. This is a straight line. Look at the straight line. This straight line L cuts x-axis at half between the point between 1 and 2, and cuts the y-axis which point 3 on the point 3. Second, definition of constant function. What do you mean constant function? The function to r, where function of x equals b. Function of x equal absolute term b. b belongs to r is called a constant function. b belongs to real numbers is called a constant function. examples of constant function. Function of x equals 5 is a constant function, where function of 1 equals 5. Function of 0 equals 5. Z of function negative 2 equals 5, and so on. What do you mean constant function? Constant function, function of x equals b. b belongs to real numbers, Any value of x, the function equals 5. Then f of 1 equals 5. f or function of negative 1 equals 5. Function of 100 equals 5. يبقى any elements of x, the result, the function of x, y equals 5. Then this is called constant function. Constant function, function of x equals b, without x, without variable. Then this degree is called 0 degree, 0 degree polynomial function. Constant function f of x equals b, where b belongs to R, b belongs to real numbers, is represented by straight line parallel to x-axis and passes through the point 0p. This line is above x-axis if b bigger than 0, below x-axis if b smaller than 0, coincident with x-axis if b equals 0. Example, function of x equals 2. The straight line is above the x-axis. Why? Excellent, because b bigger than 0. b is equals 2, bigger than 0. Then the straight line is above the x-axis and passes through the point 0, 2. Function of x equals 2. Second example, function of x equals negative 2. The straight line is below the x-axis. Why? Because b smaller than 0. Excellent. Then the straight line is below the x-axis and passes through the point 0, negative 2. Function of x equals negative 2. Function of x equals 0. The straight line is above x-axis and passes through the point 0, 0. Function of x equals 0. The straight line is coincident of x-axis and passes through the point 0, 0. Then function of x equals 0. Third, quadratic function. Definitions of quadratic function. What do you mean quadratic function, dear students? The function f to r, where function of x equals ax power 2 plus bx plus c. This is a form of quadratic function. Function of x equals ax power 2 plus bx plus c. A, coefficient of x of power 2. B is a coefficient of x. C, absolute term. Where a, b, and c are real number, a not belong 0 is called quadratic function. It is polynomial function of the second degree. It is polynomial function of the second degree. Examples of the quadratic function: function of x equals x to the power 2. Function of x equals x power 2 minus 1. Then function of x equals 3x power 2 minus 7x plus 2. Function of x equals 6 minus x power 2 plus x. Example: graph the following quadratic function. Function of x equals x power 2 taking x belongs to the interval -3 and 3. Solution: function of x equals x power 2 taking x belongs the interval -3, 3. As the table, x, function of x, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Then function of x equals x power 2, 9, 4, 1, 0, 1, 4, 9. This is quadratic function, the table of quadratic function. Then quadratic function represent two graph, -3 and 9, -2, 4, -1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 4, 3, 9. This is the curve. Quadratic function represent on graph by the curve line. By the curve line. Note that the coefficient of x power 2 bigger than 0, the curve is symmetric with respect to y-axis. The y-axis is the line of symmetry of the curve, and its equation is x equals 0. The point 0, 0 is the point of the vertex of the curve. Considered as a minimum value point of the curve because the whole curve lies up on it. The minimum value of the function is 0. It equals the y coordinate of the vertex of the curve. Example: find the degree of the following polynomials. Function where r to r. Function of x equals 5 minus 2x to the power 2. Second degree polynomial. Number B. F of x equals x to the power 3 minus 2x plus 3. Excellent. Determine the degree of polynomial function related to what? Related to the highest power of variables, the highest power of x. The highest power of x in this function equals 3. Then third degree polynomial. Function of x equals x multiply x to the power 3 minus 1. This is very an important questions. F of x equals x of x power 3 minus 1. Concentrate with me. This questions is very important. Why? Because هنلاقي students على طول أول ما هيبصوا على البروبلم ده هيقولوا الديجري بتاع البولينوميال function this is the third degree. It is wrong. Why? Yes, we determine the polynomial function related to highest power of x. فهنا ال highest power of x كلنا شايفينه إن هو x to the power 3. But it is not wrong. Why? لأن لازم at the first open the brackets. لازم أعمل solution للبراكتس order pair. فيبقى هنا x multiply x to the power 3. x multiply x to the power 3 equals what? Excellent, x to the power 4. Then x to the power 4, it is highest power of x. Then this problem, fourth degree polynomial of x to the power 3 minus 1 equals x to the power 4 minus x. Fourth degree polynomial, excellent. F of x equals x minus 1 all to the power 2. Solve, at the first solve this function. This is perfect square. Remember that? Perfect square equals x to the power 2 minus 2x plus 1. Then second degree polynomial. Function of x equals x to the power 2 minus x minus 1 all to the power 2. Yes, another very important questions. X to the power 2 minus x minus 1 all to the power 2, this is the perfect square and second degree x power 2. But solve at the first equation. X power 2 minus x power 2 plus 2x minus 1. X power 2 minus x power 2 plus 2x minus 1 equals cancelled. Positive x power 2 minus x power 2. The remainder 2x minus 1. What is the highest power of x? 1. Excellent. Then this is the first degree. 2x minus 1. First degree polynomial. F of x equals x minus x plus 1, x minus x minus 1 equals what? Negative 1. Why? Cancel positive x with the negative x. The remainder equals negative 1. Negative 1 is 0 degree polynomial. Why? Because there isn't any variable. Example, if x equals 1, 2, 5, 6 and y equals 3, 4, 8, 9, determine which of the following arrow diagrams represents a function from x to y. Determine the domain, codomain, and the range. X 1, 2, 5, 6. Y equals 3, 4, 8, 9. Function of f. Function 1 is 1 to 3, 2 to 9, 5 to 4, 6 to 8. All elements of x appears just once times to image of y. The domain equals what? Excellent. The domain, the set of x, the elements belongs to x, called domain. Excellent, students. 1, 2, 5, and 6. The codomain, remember, the codomain, all elements in y. Then 3, 4, 8, and 9 called codomain. The range. What is the range? The set of image from x to y. 3, 4, 8, and 9. Function 2. Element of x 1, 2, 5, 6. Element of y 3, 4, 8, 9. Function 2. 1 to 3, 2 to 9, 2 to 8, 5 to 4, 6 to 8. Function 2 is what? Function or not function? Function 2, it is not function. Why? Because element of 2 appears 2 times, as a first projection from x to y.